Am I the asshole for refusing to support my partner after he abandoned me when I needed him most? I never thought I would be in this position. But here I am questioning whether I am being heartless or finally standing up for myself. I am 31, and my partner Jonah is 35. We have been together for almost 5 years. For most of that time, I believed we were a team. Not perfect, but solid. I supported him through career changes, stress, and periods where he felt lost. I always showed up when he needed me. When I needed him most, he disappeared. About a year ago, I went through one of the hardest periods of my life. A close family member became seriously ill, and I was suddenly juggling hospital visits, work, and emotional exhaustion. I was barely sleeping. I was overwhelmed and scared, and I told Jonah very clearly that I needed support. At first, he said the right things. He told me he was there for me. He told me we would get through it together. But his actions did not match his words. He started coming home later. He said he needed space because my stress was a lot. He stopped asking how I was doing. When I cried, he would shut down or leave the room. If I tried to talk about how lonely I felt, he told me I was being too negative. Eventually, he told me something that still hurts to think about. He said he could not handle my emotional state and needed to focus on himself. Then he left. Not permanently, he said, just to get space. He stayed with a friend. He stopped checking in. Days would go by without a message. I went through hospital visits, paperwork, and fear completely alone. I remember sitting in my car one night after a long day, realizing I had no one to call. That broke something in me. After a few weeks, my family member stabilized, and I slowly started to regain my footing. I leaned on friends. I went to therapy. I learned how to survive without expecting him to show up. Months passed before Jonah reached out again. He said he had done a lot of thinking. He said he was ready to be supportive now. He said he wanted to come back and work on us. He said he had just been overwhelmed before and did not know how to handle my pain. By then, something in me had changed. I did not feel angry anymore. I felt tired. I told him I did not know if I could go back to how things were. I told him I had needed him and he had chosen distance instead. He apologized, but it felt shallow. He kept framing it as bad timing, as stress, as him being human. I told him what hurt most was that he made a choice when things got hard. He chose himself and left me alone in the worst moment of my life. He promised he would not do that again. I wanted to believe him, but trust does not come back just because someone says sorry. Then, a few months later, the situation flipped. Jonah lost his job. Shortly after, he started struggling emotionally. He reached out constantly. He said he was not okay. He said he needed support. He said he needed me. And I realized I did not have it in me. I listened politely, but I did not drop everything. I did not rush to comfort him. I did not rearrange my life the way I once had. I encouraged him to lean on friends, family, or professional help. He became angry. He accused me of being cold. He said I was punishing him. He said partners are supposed to show up for each other. He said I was abandoning him the way he had abandoned me. That hurt, because I am not trying to hurt him. But I also cannot forget how alone I felt when I needed him most. I told him that I do not have the emotional capacity to carry him the way I once did. I told him that something changed when he walked away during my lowest point. He said I was being cruel. He said I was holding a grudge. He said I was keeping score. Maybe I am. but it feels different when you have already learned what it is like to survive without someone now. I am stuck wondering if I am being unfair. Part of me thinks compassion should not be conditional. Another part of me feels like I finally learned to protect myself. So I need to ask, AITA for refusing to support my partner now, after he abandoned me when I needed him the most,